Hello everyone, it's time for a TWAB video and I don't have a crazy intro for it because I'm really tired and I'm working on a different video, so let's get this one going. Season 15 is going to feature some changes to ritual ranks and reputation. So Crucible and Gambit, they have their new systems in place right now, reward tracks and all that. Season 15 is going to have the Vanguard get the system as well, but before we go there, let's talk reputation in general. In Season 15, the rep systems on Zavala, Shaxx, and the Drifter will be officially known as Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit ranks, with Infamy and Valor being retired, but Glory will continue to be around for competitive PvP. Trials ranks will be introduced in Season 15 as well, but they're going to talk about that another time. They're rebalancing all of the systems to have similar progression times, with the goal to let players reset Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit ranks slightly faster than Valor currently allows. There will no longer be ritual-specific rules that impede progress. Win streak bonuses are being changed to activity streak bonuses. Bonus rep weeks have been standardized to 2x multipliers when active, and bounties will no longer give rep as rewards, instead focusing on experience. Bungie expects about 66% of your rep gains to come from simply playing activities, and they rebalanced rep gains. They looked at how long it took players who won nearly every match that they played and compared to people who lost nearly every match that they played, and tweaked it so that the time to reset is only about 2 times as long compared to the 3 to 4x that it currently is now. You'll still go faster if you win, but it should hurt a bit less if you lose a lot. So, Vanguard ranks. You get them from doing strikes, nightfalls, and battlegrounds. That was a nice little touch. Vanguard tokens are going away at the start of Season 15, so spend them before this season ends. Nightfalls are going to give more bonuses based on the difficulty level and based on the medal you receive at the end. So, the harder the Nightfall is and the more champions you kill, the more reputation you will get. Zavala will also have the full reward line like Shaxx and the Drifter, with powerful rewards being granted every 3rd rank, and an Ascendant Shard when resetting for the first time. When it comes to activity streaks, that's going to work just like it sounds. The longer you stay in an activity, the more rep you're going to get. I assume that's going to cap out at some point, but that's how it's going to work. You can leave the queue to hit the tower or the helm without losing your streak, but quitting an activity or going AFK for long periods of time will kill your streak. There will be Vanguard double rep weeks as well. The seasonal ritual weapon and ornaments are also shifting to the reputation tracks, so as you gain rep during the season, you'll work towards getting the weapon and respective ornaments. Quote, "We're also opting to update seasonal challenges, removing things like In It for Infamy, in favor of challenges to earn ritual weapon rewards." End quote. In the second half here, let's talk some Grandmaster Nightfalls and the Conqueror title. Bungie talks about the progress they've made with GM Nightfalls. More masterworking material drops, seasonal challenges, and a lower power level cap making it easier to get ready, and the catch-up node at the end of the season to let players do all GMs if they happened to miss one. But waiting until the final 3 weeks of the season to be able to show off your gilded title kinda sucks. Bungie would also like to make it so that people play the current week's Grandmaster Nightfall and not just the easiest Grandmaster when they're all available when it comes to farming rewards. Later in Season 15, they're going to make some changes to let people gild their title earlier in a season and to squash some concerns about farming an easier than others strike for rewards during the final 3 weeks. Those changes are: the Grandmaster catch-up node will become available at the same time that GM difficulty is launched in a season, assuming you have the Conqueror title already but haven't gilded it in that season. Each Grandmaster will be available if the fire team leader has not completed the gilding triumph for that strike during the season. So you can play each featured strike for the season to get your gilded title, but once you've gilded your title, that catch-up node will go away. And that's it for the TWAB. Also, you can donate to Bungie's charity event thing that they're doing to get some in-game stuff, depending on how much you donate. The link is in the description. Thoughts? The rep system finally coming to the Vanguard is cool. I don't really have a lot to say on it. I don't really interact with the Crucible or Gambit that much in the grand scheme of the game, so I'm just kind of happy that I'll actually get to interact with this new rep system on a more consistent basis now, as I imagine a lot of other people will be experiencing. The fact that they are changing things from win-based to play the activity-based is also good. No issues with that whatsoever. Winning is still going to be the move to move you along the track faster, which is totally fine with me. And things are rebalanced so that losing won't slow you down as much. Yeah, no issues with this whatsoever. I got nothing to say. Good stuff. I don't mind it. It's good. The GM Nightfall situation, I'm pretty much okay with as well. Only being able to gild your title for the couple final weeks of a season was pretty lame, so allowing people to at least front load it as soon as GMs come out is a welcome change. People who want to get it done can get it done immediately instead of having to wait 6 weeks. They can show off the title. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. I feel like some people are not going to be stoked at the farming changes, since you'll no longer just be able to farm the easy strikes for 3 weeks at the end of the season. Just because those people are probably going to read this as a, well, Bungie hates farming GMs. They don't want us to blah, blah, blah. By the way, I'm only 13, 16, so this doesn't even affect me. But I also feel like no one really needs to farm GMs for 3 weeks straight to begin with. Like, if the strike of the week is easy, like it is right now with Inverted Spire, I imagine most people will get all the farming they want to get done in that week. Or you can just find another easier strike later on during the season. Also, if you're in a position where you can be farming GMs for materials and you're not struggling, you're probably not in a dire materials or exotics position anyway. Like, you got plenty of that. And there's double loot weeks. And absolute worst case scenario is you just drop it down a peg to master mode and farm that way. And if you're not farming GMs or doing them for materials, this doesn't really affect you anyway. I was reading this at first and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But upon the second review, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. When it comes to farming GMs for the Adept Weapon of the Week, though, some concern was expressed for when a good weapon happens to fall on a week with a very tough strike, therefore not being able to farm it very well. While part of me wants to say, that's luck of the draw, tough luck. With 6 weapons in the rotation now, having to wait a month and a half for the weapon to roll back around again, not great. I think it would be a wise idea to adopt a similar system to the raid, where you unlock an adept weapon and then you can buy as many as you want with spoils after a completion, perhaps even integrating spoils into GM Nightfalls so that we don't have another currency to deal with, but if they wanted to make a new currency for that, I guess that would be fine. Overall, good stuff happening. Nothing too crazy on my end, which is good, because I'm working on a video that's going to be a little more interesting, to say the least. So I'm going to go back to work on that one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.